In this lesson, we're going to look at an overview of an end times timeline, what the church might experience prior to the tribulation, 12 birth pangs or indicators that we are nearing the tribulation, technical advances as a result of artificial intelligence, global transformation and how everything is going to change, and accelerating societal ethical degradation and moral decay. Let's look at the overall timeline between the church and the new heaven and the new earth. The high-level view is that we are now in the church age, which will be followed by the 7-year tribulation period, then the 1,000-year reign of Christ on earth called the Messianic Kingdom, also known as the Millennial Kingdom, after which comes the final judgment, followed by the destruction of the current heavens and earth and the creation of a new heaven and a new earth to last for eternity. Let's take a closer look at this part of the timeline. The church age is an undefined period of time with clear indications it is quickly coming to an end. The tribulation is exactly 7 years long, and there is an interval of 75 days between the end of the tribulation and the beginning of the Messianic Kingdom. The Messianic Kingdom is also known as the Millennial Kingdom, is exactly 1,000 years long. During the 3 periods prior to the Messianic Kingdom, there are several events that will occur. There are also things that will occur prior to the start of the tribulation that the church will undoubtedly see some of the effects of, such as 12 birth pangs that provide forewarning that the tribulation is near. Technical advances and innovations such as artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and so on. Global transformative events that will change almost everything from the way we know it. And global societal degradation. Some things may get better, but most things will go from bad to worse. There are many things that happen during the tribulation, such as the signing of the peace covenant between the Antichrist and Israel, the seal, trumpet, and bowl judgments, the breaking of the peace covenant by the Antichrist halfway through the tribulation, the abomination of desolation that occurs in the middle of the tribulation, causing the Jewish temple to be made corrupt and unclean until the end of the tribulation, and the second coming of Christ, including the final campaign of Armageddon. There will also be a 75-day interval between the end of the tribulation and the start of the Messianic Kingdom, which will include things like the Antichrist being confined for 1,000 years, the purging of the planet from any remaining unbelievers, the renovation of the planet to pre-Noah's flood conditions, the first of 2 major resurrections, and the marriage supper of the Lamb. To start out, we will specifically be looking at the time prior to the tribulation. Let's begin with the birth pangs. When we study Jesus' Olivet Discourse in Matthew chapters 24 and 25, we will get into this in a little more detail. For now, there are 12 indicators that the tribulation is approaching soon, and Jesus mentions 3, which are world wars, famines, and earthquakes. There are 9 more indicators that tell us that the end times has already begun. They are the reestablishment of Israel, Jerusalem added to Israel's control, Russia's invasion of Israel, the one world governing authority, sometimes referred to as the one world government, the divisions of 10 sub-authorities, sometimes referred to as the 10-nation confederacy or kingdoms, the rise of the Antichrist, Israel's false sense of peace and security, the third Jewish temple, either preparations of it or the building of it, and the signing of the peace covenant between the Antichrist and Israel. Next, we'll look at the technological advances that will contribute to the realization of the Russian invasion, the one world government, the 10-nation division, and the rise of the Antichrist. These will include discussions about artificial general intelligence, artificial superintelligence, neuromorphic computing, artificial intelligent agency, one world currency, robotics, universal translation, personalized medicine, gene editing, augmented and virtual reality, quantum computing, and even space exploration. Next, we will look at the potential global transformational changes that will impact everyone, such as employment implications, global trade, global tokenization, enhanced surveillance, longevity escape velocity, and energy management, just to mention a few. Additionally, we will look at the general societal degradation and moral decay predicted in the Bible as we approach the tribulation, such as signs of moral and social decay, escalating destructive behaviors, manifestation of false piety, doctrinal compromise, and departure from the truth. Last, when we finish looking at the church age events, we will tie this all together and look at the speculative timeline of how these interact and how they could play out in the near future.